Hello, welcome to Christina's Craft Catch-Up, episode 3. So, what have I been doing this week? Well, I made this jumper this week, and it took me just a week to do, which is the fastest I've ever knit anything like this before. It's based on a very simple jumper pattern by Andy Satterland again, and her one is just one colour, or two colours actually. It's a darker colour down the bottom. But what I did was, I think I showed last time, I wrote the pattern into Excel, marked all the squares out that I needed to knit, and then I just basically coloured it in. So it was like a little art project, and I ended up with this. And I used up nearly all of my white yarn. I used up most of my pink yarn. I've still got a little bit of this dark colour, and I've still got a bunch of this, and I've got a bunch of this left as well. But that's okay. I used up all my white yarn, so that's a success. Yeah, so it worked quite well. There were some things that didn't work. I have quite a loose gauge when I knit, so what happened was it ended up a lot longer than it did in the pattern. The pattern is supposed to be cropped. I think it ends about here, and mine is a good this much longer. And also, because of that loose gauge, my armholes ended up really long. They ended up sort of, where were they? Down around here when I went to attach the sleeves. And it ended up really weird, so I had to go in and take the sleeves off again and make like a gusset. Don't know if you can see, but I've got a gusset there to make the sleeve hole and the sleeve a little bit smaller so that they fit better. So I'll be keeping that in mind next time I make this pattern, because I probably will make it again, because it's a great blank canvas for experimenting with different colour patterns. It's really fun. So because I've been doing all of this knitting, I haven't done very much else. Also, it's been really cold. Oh goodness, I made my bath bombs. I better get my bath bombs. So this is how my bath bombs turned out. There's my heart one. And I just used like cookie cutters, I guess. I squished it in there really hard. And now it's kind of stuck. If you don't push it out again pretty soon, it gets kind of stuck. So I've been just putting this whole thing in the bath. I've used 2 already, and letting it fizz and it releases from that. But the more tightly you pack them down, the longer they take to fizz in the bath, which is more fun anyway, because you get it to last longer. I really like bath bombs. This one smells of freesia, and I also put the vanilla in it as well. I read on the freesia bottle that it's not to be used on skin, but I did anyway, and it didn't do anything. So I actually did a test on my arm to see if it was okay, and it was fine. So I did that. Also, my husband's grandmother gave me a whole bunch of patterns. I went to her house yesterday and looked through her billion patterns and found all of this stuff. This is an old Peyton's book with jumpers for men, and I thought I'd knit that one for Charlie because he likes V-neck jumpers, and you can knit it in 5, 8 or 12 ply, so if I choose 8 ply it won't go too slowly. She also gave me a couple of these old Peyton's books, and that's got some lovely things in it too. And this one as well, this one's Totem, which is 8 ply I think. It's amazing they still make these yarns. And this is a lovely old hat book. I'll take some photos and I'll put them in here. But some of these things, so funny. And this is one that I already had, but she had it as well. and I'm actually planning to knit this V-neck cardigan with this 5-ply yarn. It's a lovely deep teal colour, so that's going to be pretty. My grandmother-in-law also gave me this book, Traditional Knitting Patterns or something, and it's just got all of these interesting knitting textures and things and how to make them. It's just lovely. 3 flowers, cobweb. So what I thought I'd do was I'd knit this very plain cardigan, this one here, except I would use a interesting texture from this book, so maybe like this little birds one, that's a sweet one, or something like that to give it a bit of interest. Let me think. I think that's everything. I still haven't made that pink lady skater dress yet, although that's on my list of things to do. I've got more undies I want to make because some of my old ones broke. Shop bought ones, of course. My handmade ones don't break. Yeah, and maybe we'll make some marmalade this week. Not sure. But anyhow, thank you for watching Christina's Craft Catch Up, and I'll see you next time. Bye!